Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football, continuing with our freshman spotlight as we take a look back at that 2023 class and talk about some year one contributors. We're going back to the USC Trojans. A couple weeks ago, we talked Zachariah Branch, one of the most dynamic players in that 2023 class. Now we're going to the defensive side of the ball and talking about linebacker Tackett Curtis from the state of Louisiana. And you read the spring practice notes. This coaching staff absolutely loves this dude. We're going to dive into the film, talk about why he can contribute year one. Now, before we do, just want to say, especially to the USC fans, like shout out you guys. The love, the support you guys have shown truly does mean a lot. Whenever I get a chance to talk some Trojan football, I'm certainly going to take it off. You guys have been absolutely awesome. So if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And also for USC fans who kind of been joining us as we talk recruiting, we took a deep dive into that USC program, talking about why we think they can win a national title in 2023. So check that out. I'll link it up above if you guys are interested in that. But right now, let's talk Tackett Curtis, who again, he checks all the boxes of a guy that can contribute year one. First things first, as you talk about, especially on the defense side of the ball at that linebacker spot, what's that frame looking like? 6'2", 220. If you've seen the pictures of this dude working out, like you have no question about the physicality is going to be just fine at the college football level. He comes from the state of Louisiana. And what I like most about his game, and we'll get into this during the film, played a lot of safety in high school. So what does that tell me? He's really comfortable playing in space. And why I go to Tackett Curtis as being one of the more impactful true freshmen in this class when you have guys like Zachariah Branch and obviously Malachi Nelson, Deuce Robinson, like a loaded class in 2023. The USC defense is the story of this season in 2023. If this USC defense can take some strides, it's really hard to pick against USC heading into 2023, and specifically in that front seven where they gave up over 5 yards per carry to opposing running backs. And a lot of that had to do with the lack of depth, right? When we've hammered this, and a lot of USC fans, I'm sure, probably tired of me saying this, but lack of depth and physicality, especially in that front seven, was a large part of why USC struggled. And Tackett Curtis might not be a guy that starts. And you can take a look at this depth chart that I have pulled up just to kind of give us a feel of where he might work in. Mason Cobb coming from Oklahoma State. I'm sure USC fans very familiar. He's going to be a stud, like all Pac-12 kind of guy. Eric Gentry, I've been banging the table for him for the last 12 months. He's a guy that has flashed. If he can stay healthy, stay on the field, I really like his game too. Tackett Curtis might be the next one up. Like Shane Lee is a nice depth piece. I like how Shane Lee's still there. He's an experienced guy coming from Alabama. Tackett Curtis, I think, has much more upside in terms of athleticism and playmaking ability. And you talk about USC, they got a solid duo of linebackers with Eric Gentry and Mason Cobb. But who's next up? You talk about the third guy in this linebacker room. I might be taking Tackett Curtis. And again, going back to the spring period, like Lincoln Riley and the defensive staff just kept singing this dude's praises, how mature he was, how hard of a worker he was. And you certainly see that on the film. And the next step to talk about this is getting to the film of Tackett Curtis and talking about why can he be an immediate impact playmaker for USC in 2023. And the first thing I'm going to start off with, number 4, playing that off ball, kind of like that center safety role. He's going to come down in the box. That's how you want your linebacker to look, right? 6'2", good length, absolutely flies around the football field. You'll see highlights of him playing quarterback too, just because he's the best athlete on this team and they want him pretty much having the football in his hands on the offense side of the ball. First thing you're going to see is the instincts and the ability to get downhill in a hurry and be physical. And also, I mean, when it comes to playing coverage, reading quarterback's eyes, coming over to the middle of the field, laying out a boom, that's one of the biggest things these linebackers struggle with year one is playing coverage, knowing how to drop back in your zone, being able to match up man coverage. Tackett Curtis, because he played safety at the high school level, I don't really worry about him translating. And then the next thing is, again, continuing with the idea of instincts and going out and just making a play. Like, this is a prototypical linebacker that you want on this field. And I'm not surprised Lincoln Riley had this guy as their number 1 backer on the board. Again, instincts, finding the football, and being physical. Maybe wants to wrap up those tackles at the next level, but it's working at the high school level. And then you're going to see just like don't count out this guy. We talk about the football player, the instincts. He's also a phenomenal athlete. Like, he's not going to play offense for USC, but look at the wheels, look at the contact balance. There's so much to like about what Tackett Curtis brings to this game. USC fans, I think, like, again, this is not me being disrespectful in the slightest to a guy like Zachariah Branch or Deuce Robinson, who will contribute for USC. And Zachariah Branch has already been featured in the freshman spotlight. But you talk about year one impacting this team, Tackett Curtis might be that guy that has the biggest impact, because Zachariah Branch, that wide receiver room, it's already loaded. And this, I mean, what you're more concerned with if you're this USC team heading into 2023 is the depth and physicality of the defense. Tackett Curtis not only adds depth to this group, but he adds an element of physicality that might have been missing from USC last year. So in a pool of really talented true freshmen coming in for USC, and a lot of these guys will play. Zachariah Branch, Deuce Robinson, Joyner. I mean, I'm probably missing some guys that will be playing. I think Tackett Curtis is going to be a dude that plays a lot because he has the athleticism, the physicality, and the instincts to play immediately as a true freshman. Probably the guy I'm most excited for this USC program heading into 2023. Appreciate you guys rocking with the boys again. If you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys rocking with the fellas, and we'll talk to y'all later.